Shalom, Officer Kashai here with
Officer Yaza.
we are IUIC Cincinnati. You just finished our barbershop presentation. Everybody was receptive to hearing the word that coming out, was bringing forth edification, showing the people that they're not black, not African American, but they are the Israelites. So our praise is filmed for the Most High Christ bless. You see you soon. Continue to follow us on all social media platforms, YouTube, Instagram. Shalom.
Shalom.
We are Israel United in Christ. We was founded in 2003 by our bishop, Bishop Nathaniel, and what we're here to do is to teach the so-called blacks, Hispanic, Native American Indians, their true nationality according to the scriptures, all right? So be a Bible-based movement, and all we're doing is giving you some history of who we are in these last days, why we going through these oppressions, why you think we always in mass incarceration, all these things that's happening to our people, you know, what's the reason behind all that, right? And the black on black crime in the neighborhoods, what could prevent all these things? So we out here to spread some light on that, you know, and also the misconceptions of the Bible. Because I know when a lot of people refer to the Bible, it's misleading to our people of what is the true color of Christ, you know, is everybody gonna be saved? So we are here to answer some of those questions and show y'all who y'all are according to the scriptures and how special and how powerful y'all have when y'all come back to the Most High God, all right? So we start off with Job 8 and 8.
Book of Job, chapter 8 and verse 8. For inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers.
So when we come of a certain age, we want to what? We want to search. Like they said, search for your history, right? When people say doing a DNA test and all that, that's really not accurate. But when we search for our history, we search for our bloodline of where we come from, right? Who is our grandfather, right? What state do we have in this place of who we are? What is our heritage, right? So at a certain age, we got to start looking at those things like where I come from. What is my purpose in life, right? So that's what we get when we read out of Job 8 and 8. It's showing we have to do that research to see who we are, right? Because if I ask you, brother, what would you say your nationality is? African American. What about you, my brother? What would you say? African American. What about you, young man? African American. When we ask our people that, it's a lot of different nationalities, right? Some people say what? They black, you know, they African American, right? They Moorish American, they Afro American, right? But when it comes to our race of people, we have multiple nationalities. But when it comes to the Chinese, Japanese, they just Chinese and Japanese, right? They just Koreans, right? But when it comes to us, we have multiple nationalities. So if I tell y'all, do y'all know where the term African American comes from?
Africans coming to America.
All right. How about you, my brother? You know where that term reside from? Where they come up? Because that's a new term. That was in the 1980s. Jesse Jackson, he got that term coined of being, okay, we getting tired of being called what? Niggas, niggers, color. Hey, we came from Africa. We American citizens now. Hey, why don't we be called African Americans, right? So that came in the terms of the 1980s, 1983, I believe, or 1985, right? A lot of our parents are older than that term. Meaning a lot of our parents was born before 1980, right? So how can you be older than your nationality? That don't make no sense, right? So when you look up the origins behind African American, Africa come from a man named Leo Scipio's Africanus. He conquered Hannibal in the Second Punic Wars. That was a white man. And you can look this up in history. Americo Vespucci, he was an Italian navigator, right? Came over here and found on this side. He called this a new world, right? So those are two white men, right? So can two white men make a black child? Not at all, right?
Well, it depends if they albino, it might be.
I mean, two white men. Can two white men? Two white men can't make no kids, right? So, all right. So when we call ourselves African American, you actually call yourself two white men. That's where you say your history comes from. Two white men when you say African American, right? So when we say that term, we already is lost or we don't know, and we just accepting what's been told to us from years, right? Even come up from our youth up. If our parents didn't know no better, they taught us that you African American, or what we learned in society, right? But like I said, you calling yourself two white men, and that's not our nationality, right? For a term, Africa is a continent, right? America is a continent. How can one person come from two different continents? That don't make no sense either, right? And when we say Africa, you know how many countries in Africa? My brother? You know how many countries in Africa? Take a guess. How many you think? He said 7. It's over 50 plus countries in Africa. So when we say, hey, you from Africa? What country you from Africa? I don't know. I just know I'm from Africa. Because when you see a real African, he knows I'm Nigerian. I come from Nigeria, right? Or I come from Senegal, right? But when we say we from Africa, we just say we Africans. A real African, he don't call himself an African. He say where he from. I'm from the Congo. I'm Congolese, right? But when it comes to us, we just say, oh, we African, right? Because they put us in a box of, if we all brown skin, we all must be Africans, right? But when it comes to the whites, the Caucasian, they what? They what? Italian Caucasian, they Russian Caucasian. They actually know their history. But when it comes to us, they say, since they all brown skin, we're going to just mark black. But according to the Bible, it describes who we are. It's actually a separation between the Africans and the Israelites. So we let our people know that we fall under the categories of the Israelites, which are God's chosen people, right? So we're going to get some of that information out there to y'all. So get that in Exodus.
You said Exodus?
Yeah, Exodus. Yep, the second book of the Bible.
Exodus chapter 11, verse 7. But against any of the children of Israel.
So the children of Israel is God's chosen people. Today, the children of Israel makes up the so-called blacks, Hispanics, Native American Indians. That's one nation of people, right? But in America today, they divide us. She said, you black and you brown skin, but we all one race of people. We all one nation. So he says to the children of Israel, read,
Shall not a dog move his tongue?
shall not a dog move his tongue, referring to humans. Can nobody else move their tongue against the children of Israel? That's how much power we had. That's how much respect we had, right? Read.
Against man or beast.
Go ahead.
That ye may know.
That you may know, read.
How that the Lord doth put a difference between the Egyptians and Israel.
See, so God put a difference between the Egyptians, which are African race, and the Israelites, right? So what it says, distinct difference. Just because we got the same skin complexion, don't make we the same people at all, right? So get that in the Zondervan. We're going to get this in the Zondervan and see how this lines up, right? Because understand, we didn't write this book. This Bible been out for what, thousands of years, right? But it's a lot of misinterpretation of the Bible. Ham? Yep. So we're going to get who is the father of actually the black races on this earth, all right? Read.
This is the Zondervan Compact Dictionary. Definition: Ham, the youngest son of Noah.
So if y'all familiar with the flood, right? Noah and his sons, right? This is naming one of his sons is Ham, right? Read.
Born probably about 96 years before the flood.
Before the great flood.
And one of the 8 persons to live through the flood.
Go ahead.
He became the progenitor of the dark races.
Who knows what progenitor is? Progenitor is the father, right? So Ham became the father of all the dark races on the planet Earth, right? So we know dark races, we fit in that category, right? Read.
Not the Negroes.
So wait a minute. It says he became the father of all the dark races on the earth, but he's not the father of the Negroes. So that should make you say, dang, we the only ones that's being called Negroes in America, right? But he said Ham, which is an African, is the father of the dark races, but not the Negroes. So this showing us a distinct difference between what? Negroes and Africans, right? So we understanding that through society, that's what they push that narrative. As long as we sleep to the fact we don't know who we are, we're going to constantly be in the situation we in today of being oppressed, right? Being at the bottom, right? Because when you turn on the news, is it ever they putting us in a positive light when we see on the news? No, you see what? Somebody got shot down the street, right? Somebody got murdered, right? We never see a positive image for us, our people, right? And they want to put us in a box of, okay, y'all just think about sports. Because y'all young man, right? You play sports? What you play? Basketball? What about you? You don't play sports? They push that for a lot of our young men to play sports. Like, it ain't nothing wrong with wanting to exercise and all that. But they want to keep, the entertainment going on, saying we ain't nothing, no good, but just for sports, right? They don't push for us to be dentists, to be lawyers, right? To be doctors. Because we need that in our communities, right? We need doctors, lawyers, and dentists and all that. But they push the narrative of, oh, just do sports. You're good at that. Or what they bring out to the youth now, y'all can become rappers. Get that $1 million check and go ahead and buy your mama house out of here, right? Podcast and all that, right? So we showing the what they use against our people to continue to put us in that box and continue to be at the lowest state of a people. So we're showing that's why nationality is important. Heritage is important. So we're trying to let y'all know that we are the greatest race on this earth. But we're not African Americans. We're not Negroes. But we are the Israelites according to the Bible. So we're going into the Bible showing that it's a distinct difference between Africans and Israelites, where we just read, right, in the Designer Van Bible Dictionary.
What is a nation? Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family.